So today's Tuesday, and yesterday I was talking to you guys about, talking to my staff about having the courage, the leadership to communicate to their teammates when they see them doing something that might propel them towards their preferred future, their career, their position in the company they're striving for, or something that might hinder them. And I used an example with Kyron, who's one of my newer guys, about some beads of silicone. And I said to Phil and Mitch, you know, Kyron was in the training room, and I said, did you go in, Mitch, and see Kyron's work? And did you give him some feedback on the silicone beads? And this is in front of our entire staff. And Mitch says, yeah, I told him, you know, these things. And he did 3 applications, and Mitch was sharing the 3 applications, how the first one was a little rougher, the second one was better, and the third one was the best, and gave him some pointers. And I said, that's hard to give feedback, professional versus unprofessional feedback, right? We talked about yesterday. That's hard to give professional feedback as it relates to your craft. I said, what's even harder than that is if Kyron's breath stinks or if he has BO. And like, how do you professionally provide them feedback that, you know, even though your nose is only, as they say, an inch from your mouth, like you can't, it takes my wife to tell me that my breath stinks, or I go for a long run and she's like, dude, get a shower. It's like, I don't smell myself. And so it's harder to give somebody feedback that's more personal, right? And so it's what I was talking to my staff about is it's hard to provide feedback even as it relates to your craft, Kyron's silicone bead, but it's even more difficult to provide feedback as it relates to the person. And so again, yesterday we talked about what's unprofessional is to say nothing. Like, the dude's breath stinks, but you're not gonna say anything. That's super unprofessional. Or to be passive aggressive is super unprofessional. Or to be sarcastic is super unprofessional. What's professional is professional is to, again, using some of the skills of communication that Riley and Dennis taught us. How do I engage a coworker professionally, clearly, kindly, directly, and communicate messages that, you know, things that might hinder them from, you know, their career objectives. So, you know, what position in the company does Kyron want next? And what do you see Kyron doing that propels him towards that? Speak to it. That's professional, right? Professional, speak to that, address it. And when you see him doing something that hinders him, professionally address that. So again, it's tough, man. I mean, it's just, you know, trying to encourage my guys to get at bats today. Like, I want my guys to get at bats today. They see guys, teammates doing things that they might surmise is propelling them towards their, you know, position in the company they want, or might hinder them, and it's your responsibility as a professional to speak to it. So we're struggling through this, but I think it's super important.